There we go. For the convenience of those who cannot attend, and will be accessible on our Facebook page and our website, mossbay.org, starting from tomorrow. We typically get more people who actually watch the video recordings than actually attend in person, so this is important. We kindly request that you keep your microphones muted unless you're actively speaking. We'll reserve questions for the end of each presentation, and if you wish to ask a question, you have the option. You can either unmute yourself and just go ahead and ask it, or you can raise your hand with that icon and I can call on you. You can also type it in the chat and I can read it out for you so that it can be recorded for the video. So first on the agenda, we have Aaron Hussmann, Environmental Education Outreach Coordinator for the Kirkland Public Works. He's going to give us an overview of the department as well as some current rebates that are available to us. Aaron, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, Alex. Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. Let me just share my screen here. And if I could just maybe get a quick head nod, Alex, that you can see that.
It's good.
Awesome. So hi, everyone. So my name is Aaron Hussmann. I'm the Education and Outreach Coordinator for our Public Works Division, specifically for Storm and Surface Water Division. So I mostly focus on all the rain that we're getting tonight. And that's the kind of main thing that I want to talk about tonight is that actions that you take in your daily life can improve water quality in both Everest Creek, which is in the Moss Bay neighborhood, and ultimately in Lake Washington. Specifically, though, once we get kind of through some of those actions, I want to share some exciting rebate opportunities that Alex mentioned. We've got our Yard Smart Rain Rewards program that provides rebates up to $5,000 for landscaping projects on your own property. And then we also have our tree rebate program, which provides a more modest $500 for just planting trees on your property. So we'll talk about those as well. But going back to basics, because I never like to assume that this is just common knowledge for everyone. So, kind of pre-development, this is what our Northwest forest used to look like. Lots of trees, lots of undergrowth, lots of shrubbery. And the key word here is permeable surface. So on nights like tonight, when it rained, all that rainfall would soak into the ground and ultimately soak into the groundwater. Our modern lifestyle is quite a bit different than our pre-developed condition, right? We have houses that we live in, buildings that we work at, roads that we drive on, and cars that we park our cars in, or parking lots that we park our cars in while we're at work or at school. And so all of those we consider what are called impervious surfaces. So whenever water hits those surfaces, rather than soaking into the ground, it runs off. And what I mean by off, when that water runs off, it runs typically into a storm drain. So tonight, with all this rain that we're getting, there's lots of water going into these storm drains, and these things are great. They were built to help keep our roads from flooding and keep our neighborhoods and our properties from flooding. But once it goes into that storm drain, all that water has to go somewhere. And in Kirkland and in many east side cities, once the water goes into those storm drains, it's a very short trip ultimately to Lake Washington or to the nearest creek, and then ultimately to Lake Washington. Very rarely, if ever, is there treatment, and it's actually separate from our sewer system. So it's a separate system completely from when you flush your toilets or do your dishes. That all goes to the sewage treatment plant. Stormwater is untreated, unfiltered, goes right to the nearest creek, lake, or body of water. So we care a lot about what goes down those storm drains. That's a few of the things that I want to talk about tonight, about just how do we keep that water as clean as possible. Specifically for the Moss Bay neighborhood, for the Moss Bay watershed, we focus on a creek called Everest Creek. Its headwaters are up kind of on the east side of 405, just near kind of Bridle Trail State Park, and it flows under 405 and ultimately ends up in Marina Bay. Now, the good news is that Everest Creek has pretty good water quality, and our Kirkland stream scientists are going out every year and sampling water quality throughout the year. And on a scale of 1 to 100, Everest Creek gets an 89, which is pretty good on our water quality index score. We got a B+. And that score has actually gone up 2 points since 2021. You can see we've got about a 30% canopy cover, and we'll talk about why that's important in a second. And about 48% of the Moss Bay Everest Creek watershed is covered in impervious surfaces. But overall, it's in the some or low concern category. The one point I do want to bring up with Moss Bay and Everest Creek, though, if you'll see this graph on the right, is our nitrogen scores. So all the other factors that our stream scientists measure are doing pretty well in Everest Creek, with the exception of nitrogen. It's doing pretty bad, 10 out of a possible 100 points on that nitrogen score. One of the main reasons, there could be naturally occurring nitrogen, but this is even below what we would consider a baseline level. So What we think is that a lot of this nitrogen is coming from things like fertilizers from our lawns and gardens, turf, or not turf field, but athletic fields and things like that. So that's one of the things that we'll talk about right now. So runoff from our garden chemicals and fertilizers is definitely a big factor in affecting that stream score. Obviously, there's a balance of wanting to keep our lawns green and healthy, and also keep pests out of the yard and garden. Tips that we have for this are just making sure you really follow the label on those chemicals and fertilizers, not applying while it's raining, even checking the forecast and making sure there's not going to be rain for a couple days after your application to make sure that it's really setting in, that fertilizer or pesticide is setting in and not washing off. Better yet, you could reduce it or minimize or completely eliminate your use of these things, but if you are going to use them, follow the label and check the weather forecast before you apply them. Another big source of nutrients in our creeks comes from our four-legged friends, and I have a 100-pound white furry dog myself, so I do my fair share of scooping. But when we don't scoop our dog's poop, that contains a lot of nutrients, specifically phosphorus, that runs off into our creeks and can also carry bacteria with it as well. So believe it or not, Kirkland has about 20,000 dogs that generate almost 6,000 pounds of waste every day. So it's really important that we scoop all of that waste so that it doesn't end up in Lake Washington. Another big source for us are vehicle fluids, not necessarily the nitrogen anymore, but just pollutants in general. Vehicle fluids and wear from our vehicles. So we just want to make sure to diagnose our car leaks when we can and get them fixed as soon as possible if you notice that your car has a leak. One of the big things that we'll see now that hopefully the weather gets up to about 70 degrees this weekend, like the forecast is showing, we'll probably start seeing lots of car washing. And so again, all of those soap suds and car grime and dirt, when it gets washed off from our home car washes, gets carried to the storm drain and goes to Lake Washington. So the best thing you can do is go to a commercial car wash where they actually recycle and treat and clean that water. If you can't go to a commercial car wash and you do want to wash at home, one of the easiest tips I have is just to take a rolled up bundle of towels and put them against the end of your driveway so that water can divert over to landscaping rather than go into the storm drain. And keep that out of Lake Washington. And then the last one that I want to talk about is something that's kind of new on our radar in the stormwater world, and that's tire dust. And they found that essentially there's a chemical in our tires that's designed to help keep them from breaking down. But when that chemical rubs off of our tires when we're driving, it's actually almost 100% of the time lethal to coho salmon. It's a chemical called 6-PPD. And they're doing a lot of research about alternative chemicals, but in the meantime, one of the easiest things that we can do right now is to keep our tires properly inflated to the correct level so that the tire wears down not as fast. You get less tire wear when your tire is properly inflated and less tire dust, which is healthier for our stream. So Kirkland is working with about 30 to 35 other jurisdictions around the Puget Sound region for this Don't Wait to Inflate campaign. And we just urge you to check your tires monthly and add air if you need to. So just to recap, maintain your vehicle, wash your car at a commercial car wash, pick up your pet waste, practice natural yard care, and don't wait to inflate are kind of 5 easy tips to leave you with tonight on things that you can do every day to help keep our creeks clean. The next thing that I'll talk about are the 2 programs that we're offering to help slow and filter that rainwater runoff before it leaves your own property. And those are our Yard Smart Rain Rewards program and our City of Kirkland Tree Rebate program. So Yard Smart is a pretty neat program. We've been running it as long as I've been at the city. It's a little over 5 years now. And so we actually offer rebates up to $5,000 for Kirkland property owners to install things like rain gardens, cisterns, and native landscaping on their property to help slow down and soak in rainwater runoff before it leaves your property. We also offer free technical assistance tailored to your property. So we'll actually send staff out and do a site visit and a walkthrough to identify landscaping issues you might be having, but also help find the best place for these projects. And these will all help beautify your home while keeping polluted rainwater out of Evers Creek and Lake Washington. So just some examples, this is a rain garden we did in the Norkirk neighborhood. Cisterns are an eligible rebate option, and then native landscaping. This one we did over in the Forbes Creek watershed. Not everyone is eligible for Yard Smart right now. The main eligibility criteria is that your home has to be currently connected to the city's stormwater drainage system. So an example of that, this downspout going into the ground here is potentially connected. The downspout on the right here, where the downspout just goes out to the yard or garden, is not eligible for the rebates, but the good news is that water is already soaking into the ground, which is what we want to see. So we want to see those connected downspouts, and if you're not sure, just ask. We'll actually come out, we'll review all the available records we have and help you figure out whether you're connected or not. And if you're interested in that program, you can go to calendly.com/yardsmart and schedule a virtual site visit with our program staff. And this will all be, I'll email this all out to Alex as well, so you can send it out. And obviously this is recorded. And then our second program that I want to share tonight is our tree rebate program, which has been going for 3 or 4 years now. And this program provides rebates up to $150 per tree with a maximum of $500 per property to plant trees on your property. They can also help cover the cost of mulch and watering bags. And we also offer prepaid certificates good at participating nurseries if you don't want to wait for that. If you don't want to front the out-of-pocket costs while you wait for the city to reimburse you with the rebate. The reason we care about this is that trees catch water on their leaves and needles to help, slow down that rainfall. They absorb and filter the water through the root system, and they just help provide shades for our home, which helps cool down our creeks as well. Not all trees are eligible. There's actually a list of prohibited trees, things like laurel and holly, or invasive trees that we don't want to plant. But in general, we will approve most trees as long as they will, when they're mature, reach a 10-foot spread and be at least 15 feet high. So things like those really skinny kind of arborvitae or those screening trees aren't eligible, but most other trees, as long as they reach that 15 by 10 foot dimensions, will end up being eligible for the rebates. Couple other factors, you can't use the rebates to replace existing trees on the property. The whole goal is to increase our tree canopy in Kirkland. If you did have to have a tree removed in the last year, we'll give you 50% of the rebates, just so we're not incentivizing people removing trees. And then the property just has to be in Kirkland and the trees planted with owner's permission. And with that one, you can learn more at kirklandwa.gov/tree rebate. So again, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I really appreciate you all being here tonight and letting me speak, but I just want to again reiterate that actions that you take can help improve water quality in Evers Creek and Lake Washington, and happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you so much, Aaron. Any questions in regards to anything we've seen so far? Sure, I can see everyone here. Aaron, I have a quick question for you. What about in terms of moss treatment? Do you have any specific recommendations about that, whether it's on the roof or sidewalks and things like how to deal with that?
Yeah, definitely. It's timely. We actually literally just did a post about that earlier today, I think. So good timing on that. And it's that time of year. We definitely recommend if you're going to use chemical treatments if your downspouts are connected to the stormwater system, to disconnect them first so that when that treatment does go through, it's just soaking into the soil on your property and not being carried to the stormwater system.
Got it.
Non-chemical treatment methods are always preferred. So if you can get up there and brush it off and physically remove the moss, that's preferred if we're talking about roof or driveway moss. I know a lot of companies, just to not damage your roof, instead of using the chemicals and the water treatments, they're actually using like a high pressure air treatment that's, I think, less damaging on your roof than like the water and chemicals are. So and then if there are less toxic and like safer choice chemicals that you can use on your roof, but again, you'll want to check the forecast and make sure. The main thing is keep it out of the stormwater system and get it to soak into the ground when it's done providing its roof treatment. I'll drop a link in the chat, if there is a chat, to the blog that we just posted on the moss treatment as well, so people can learn a little bit more on it.
Great. Okay, any other questions? If not, then just a big thank you for joining us today and a very informative presentation.
Yeah, thank you all so much for your time. Have a good night.
Okay. Next up, we have the introductions from some of the businesses that are key to what makes Moss Bay so great in terms of livability. So here's a list of those that have agreed to present to us on the docket this evening. We have EvergreenHealth, Moss Bay Hall, Rock Creek Seafood, Marina Park Salon, Earthlight Rocks and Gems, Experience Paris, Gemco Components and Fabrication. And at the end, if there's time, we can open the floor to any others that may wish to share. Okay, so first, we are pleased to welcome Dr. Ettore Palazzo, the new CEO of EvergreenHealth, to the floor. Are you there?
I am. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us. I'm joined this evening by Stephanie Litza, our Director of Community Engagement here at EvergreenHealth. And we really appreciate the Moss Bay Neighborhood Association for the opportunity just to highlight your community hospital, your community-owned hospital. Stephanie has a couple slides. I promise we'll be brief, but we can send these out for the group separately. But I am the new Chief Executive Officer. I've been in the role for about 2 months, but I've been here at EvergreenHealth for 21 years and actually a Kirkland resident for 20 years. Really enjoyed Aaron's presentation, being a Kirkland resident myself. Over 50 years ago, it's amazing to think back to 1972, the residents here in Kirkland and in the district said, we want to have healthcare local to us. We don't want to go across the bridge or go north of the lake to get to Seattle for healthcare. And so this public hospital district, this concept of community-owned hospital where the community supports it through taxes was created. And it's been amazing to see what's happened for 50 years, and a lot has changed. Evergreen's now the largest employer here in Kirkland, and along with our hospital, which is internationally renowned, we'll talk about that in just a moment, we do provide a lot of ambulatory services, and that has grown with the growth of the community. So primary care, over 12 practices, 8 urgent care locations, 41 specialty clinics covering 55 clinical specialties, partnerships with Fred Hutch Cancer Center, so we can provide cancer services from a world-renowned provider right here locally is great. And I guess I would share and close with the fact that quality and patient safety are really at the foundation of what we do. Thanks, Stephanie. These are just some of the awards that are listed, but we've been recognized as one of the top 50 hospitals in the country now for 4 years in a row. And when you add everything up on this slide, they're all the usual mechanisms that hospitals and healthcare systems are rated. There's only 15 hospitals in the country right now that have achieved all of this. So I think it's just special that right here at home in a community-owned hospital that our taxpayers own, we have some of the best healthcare out there. You don't have to cross the bridge to get to Seattle to get that. So we are pleased to be here. We want to make sure that we're continuing to be here for our community as a public-owned entity. We support in ways that are important to us in the community. $6 million back into community programs through youth mental health, senior care, assistance with community healthcare access through our chat team. So if you can't tell, I'm super proud of EvergreenHealth and the work we do. I'll stop there. I know there's many others that need to speak to the association, but thanks for the opportunity tonight, and thanks for the support of this great hospital.
Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Palazzo before we stop sharing? Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, quick question for me. I was wondering what you see in terms of changes that you want to implement the next 5 years. We're obviously, some of us are very aware of the excellent services that you provide today, but I think what is coming down the pipeline for you?
Yeah, Alex, thanks for asking that question. As you look at this picture here and the growth, the 1972 building was right in the middle, and as we've grown with the community, we didn't grow for just growth's sake. And I got to see 21 years of that, 50 years here as a practicing clinician now in my current role. And so we really rely on things like community needs assessment to understand what the community needs as we grow. And so that's an important part of answering that question. The truth of the matter is, Washington State is one of the most underbedded states per capita in the country, meaning our number of hospital beds across the state is quite limited. We're what's called a certificate of need state. So the Department of Health makes all determinations of how many beds we need. So right now we're at capacity for our medical surgical beds, and so we do have a master facility plan in with the city to look at what the next 10 years look like to potentially grow, maybe put a new tower in, a medical office building to be able to continue to grow with the community. Of course, that has financial requirements, and all healthcare right now is still I think recovering from the after effects of the pandemic and the financial challenges that came with that. So we're grateful that we're moving forward with that and are seeing successes in the last 4 years with stability there and financial recovery. And so that allows us to start thinking again, what does the next 10 years look like? But additional beds are going to be needed just to match what the growing needs of the community are.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Anyone else with questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both for coming today. Okay, next up, we have Moss Bay Hall. Austin, and I missed the other gentleman's name, but
Justin
go ahead.
Andrews.
Justin, there you go. Okay.
Thanks, Alex, and thanks
Sure.
everyone. It's a pleasure being here. I'm a born and raised Kirkland kid. Really happy to be opening a business here in downtown Kirkland. It's good to see some familiar names on here. Know the Contreras family pretty well. The boys, just a few years older than me, so growing up, I've been a big fan of that family. So great to see you there, Santos. But yeah, we opened up last December. We are the owners of the Queen Anne Beer Hall in Seattle, and just excited to bring something here to Kirkland. We're looking forward to seeing the kind of the restaurant and you know, the whole just out scene coming together in Kirkland right now. Really excited to see Rock Creek on this list here, and we're all excited for them to open up. But just wanted to say hello to everyone. Really excited to be part of this association. Want to get to know you guys. I'd love to have you guys come down at any point. If you mention that you're part of this association, I want to offer everyone a free pretzel, at least, you know, from sharing the love. It's one of our most coveted items, and love to share that with you all. But if you have any questions for me, Auston Sconce is on here as well. He's our manager of the Moss Bay Hall, and we're just excited to be part of this community.
Thanks, Juice. Yeah, hi, everybody. I'm Austin. Like you said, I'm the manager over at Moss Bay Hall. I've been doing this restaurant business for quite a few years now. We're so excited to bring the Queen Anne Beer Hall energy over to the east side. We've got that beautiful waterfront view. We're lucky to be in the space that we're at and take over that old Wild Rover spot. If you haven't come down, like Juice said, please come see us. We'll treat you to a pretzel, let you get a feel for how amazing the space can be. It's a ginormous space. If you haven't been in there, you know, we can seat about 400 people or so, doing private parties. You can have birthday parties, watch parties to watch some Kraken games, anything you want to do. Just come on down and see us down at Moss Bay Hall. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. I've got a quick little thing to make you guys hungry real quick. If I can share my screen. Can you confirm that you're looking at this?
Oh yeah,
there we go.
All right, so just a couple enticing photos for everybody to come see us at Moss Bay Hall here. We have got some amazing dishes. If I can get this to work here. There we go. So these are some fun stuff we're putting out of the kitchen. We're always going to be innovating and adding new items to our menus. We'll be running some specials. We're working really hard on our spring menu, our summer menu. Going to have a lot of exciting stuff coming down for you guys to check out. These are just some of our few favorites to entice you to come see us over at Moss Bay Hall. These are
Make me hungry.
Alex, what did you have when you came down and saw us down there?
I had the smash burger, I believe.
Hey, that's what we're on there. I think I should probably I'll just end on this photo here, because if you haven't had one of our famous smash burgers, you got to come down and try it out.
Thank you, tell everybody. Us really quick, can you tell us what your hours are? Is that lunch and dinner every day? Do you do breakfast at all or anything like that?
Absolutely. So at this moment, we are not doing breakfast, but we are open from 11 to midnight, 7 days a week. Throughout Monday through Friday, we've got an amazing lunch special menu options as far as down to like $10 meals. And that goes from 11 to 4 every day, Monday through Friday. We've got a great happy hour from 3 to 6 where you can get one of these smash burgers you're looking at right there for about $6. You can get a cheap beer to go with it and wash it down. But yeah, 11 to midnight, 7 days a week over at Moss Bay Hall.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all very much. We're excited to see you.
All right. Next up, we have Rock Creek Seafood. Erica, I think I saw you there. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. The first thing I have to say is I didn't know that Queen Anne Beer Hall was now Moss Bay over here. I had that as well, and I can vouch wholeheartedly for that pretzel. So I'll be in shortly for that. But we are Rock Creek Seafood and Spirits. We do have Rock Creek. Chef Eric Donnelly is our chef. We have Rock Creek in Fremont, Flint Creek in Greenwood, and Bar Sur Mer in Greenwood. Now we're opening Rock Creek in Kirkland, and we are so excited. We're right down off the water across from the slip, which I'm sure is iconic for everyone around here. So, and I know we're still in construction, but we're getting so close and we're so excited to be open. The one thing I can invite everyone to get a little sneak preview on Wednesday, let me make sure it's the 27th. So I say, yeah, Wednesday, March 27th. So coming up in a couple weeks, we're going to host an open house for the community from 6 to 9 p.m. It's just going to be a couple of drinks, a couple snacks, but a great invite to come see the space, get a feel for it, meet some of us. We'll have 2 levels. We've got the great upstairs kind of main dining room. There's going to be a great patio we'll have ready for the summer. We're really excited because we also have a really, really stunning private dining room area as well. So you can do all kinds of different events there. So it's like March 27th from 6 to 9 would be a great time to come in. It's a restaurant opening, so it's always a little bit flexible, but we're shooting for the beginning of April, and we'll let you know a little closer to it. Probably beginning of April, we'll be open 7 days a week for dinner. And then as we get that going, we'll open up for brunch and lunch in the following weeks to come. So we'll be open 7 days a week. But dinner will start probably around 4 or 5 and go till about 10 on the weekdays, 11 on the weekends. But we are so excited to be here. We've got such a beautiful space. It's been a really, really amazing build out, and we're so excited to have everybody in.
I think you have a lot of fans already and a lot of anticipation for your opening.
Yeah.
So good to hear about. Is that a Wednesday, did you say, March 27th?
It's a Wednesday, March 27th. And
Okay.
it's just kind of like for the community to come get a sense of the space, say hello, introduce yourselves. We're really excited to be over here in Kirkland.
And when will you start taking reservations?
Well, isn't that the $1 million question? Tentatively the first week of April. When we open in April, we're going to give ourselves a day or two to just sort of be open when that is. And then I would say like probably first week of April is definitely our goal right now.
Got it. Well, yeah.
Just a few pieces to get together, but it's coming right along.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Marina Park Salon. Is Sarah online? Nope, I don't see Sarah. Okay. So maybe we can come back to her if she does come back. Next up, we have Earthlight Rocks and Gems. Rachel Shirk. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. So Earthlight was started in 1988 by Jack Frazzle. So we are in our 36th year of business, which is pretty amazing.
In the same location?
In the exact same location the entire 36 years. And we offer beads, rock specimens, gems, minerals. We have some metaphysical classes as well as some jewelry classes, fossils, meteorites, and it's just a great place. We are really enjoying just in the last couple of years that people that came as children are coming and bringing their children, which is really exciting.
Yeah, you might want to remind us where your location is specifically.
Sure. Actually, we are just below Moss Bay on between the 2 parking garages. So when you come into the parking lot, there's the Cloud Food Court, Nail Envy, and then the next business is ours.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, it was my first time there, and a very different vibe than any other store I've walked into in the neighborhood. So I was very impressed with that. It was. Yeah, I guess it felt very crystally and Yeah, but very busy. I was pleasantly surprised. Seemed like there were a lot of people there.
Yes, we do tend to have some very, very busy days. Around the holidays, we've been known to have a line out the door. So
Wow. Okay. Great. Anyone have questions for Rachel? No? Okay, well, thanks again for joining us today. Next up, we have L'Expérience Paris. Olivia, I see you there. Welcome.
Hello. So I hope you will understand my French accent. So, so I'm the manager from L'Expérience Paris. So we just opened 2 months ago the 5th location in Kirkland. So it's close to the Aegis Living senior living area in Kirkland, close by to the lake. So we are open 7 days a week. We do have a brunch, so opening to 2 p.m. Sorry, and so we do have we do have the egg Benedict croissant, avocado toast, French toast, quiche, croque-monsieur, fresh baguettes, really good bread, sourdough, good coffee. We bake the croissant every day fresh in the Mercer Island. We have 7 sweet and 2 savory croissants. We have a fresh patisserie, so fresh cake every day too. And we bring some retail from France too. So we have the Pierre Hermé macaron, some retail like a marmalade, French marmalade, juice, tea. Mariage Frère, it's a nice brand from France. We bring some wine too from France, and we will have the happy hour for the spring, summer, and fall. So that's with the good wine. And so we have a website. It's l'expérienceparis.com, where you can see the pictures. You can have made-to-order cake, catering too. We can do the catering for the mini croissant, mini pâtisserie. And yeah, so you're very welcome to visit us. It's really easy to park, so that's really nice. And yeah, you're very welcome. So we have 5 locations, and this is the 5th one. So nice place. We are really happy to be there.
So Olivia, I was wondering, do you have the same menu as in, let's say, the Bellevue location in Kirkland yet?
Alors, for the brunch, it's the same menu. Bellevue, it's wine bar and dinner too. So it's open until 10 p.m. and we have dinner. So it's a French dinner. So it's a bit different for the evening, but for the brunch, it's exactly the same. So you can have the same. And we have Issaquah, Mercer Island, Microsoft Building, and Bellevue and Kirkland.
So the sign in the front still says, I think, quiet opening.
Yeah, because
So-
we just it was.
When are you going loud? Right. I think this is something you want to yell about.
That's great. Yeah. Just to start, and we will change the sign too. So we do it, pretty. It's a quiet one, but yeah, hopefully it will be busy soon. It's busier and busier, so that's great.
Great. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to Kirkland. That
Thank
was wonderful.
you.
Okay. Any questions before we move on? Oh, wait. Sue has a question. Go ahead, Sue. Oh, you're on mute, Sue. There's a question from Rob here. Sue, you're actually muted. Oh, there you go. Oh, no.
The location, where are you again located?
Location.
The location, so we just have the Google points. Maybe we can share the.
It's the old Queen Bee location, so just where the Aegis
Oh,
living
great.
is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
used to be the Queen Bee coffee, and yeah, just close by to the Aegis Living.
On the boulevard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us, Olivia.
Thank you. Good evening.
Next up, we have Gemco Components and Fabrication. I don't see Travis online yet. Don, did
No,
you get an update from him or?
No, I sent him a reminder last night and he replied to that. And I sent him another reminder today.
Okay.
He didn't reply to, but so I guess he must have forgotten about it or something.
Okay, already got tied up. That's okay. So I think that's the end of what we have in terms of presenters. Just open the floor. If there's anyone else who wants to share something, please go ahead, or any other business for the neighborhood.
I had a
question.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, for Earthlight and stuff, a lot of times when there are like different festivals and stuff that share that marina parking lot, a lot of times there's a fence that kind of blocks off not just our business, but again, like Nail Envy and Cloud Food Court. Is there a way that we could consider allowing us to have some signage to let people know that on those days that we're still open, we're wanting to participate, and that we're there?
I would assume that would be automatic, but now that you bring it up, it's definitely something that we can bring forward to the city. I think it makes a lot of sense. I don't understand why it wouldn't be there.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was a city issue or frankly, if it was like the Moscow community issue, since it is taking, you know, kind of that area of the city.
Yeah, no, it's not from the community. It might be the landlord there, depending on the parking lot area specifically, or where that fencing is. It might also be, oh, sorry, Sue. You had a comment, Sue?
Rachel, are you talking just during events? Like
Yes.
Summerfest, Oktoberfest, yes?
Exactly.
Okay, well, Summerfest, Oktoberfest, Kirklandia are all gone now.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh. Wow.
There
Okay.
will be some other ones there, but you might want to check with Sudi at the city. She issues all the permits for events that take place down in Marina Park.
Okay.
You might check with her. Sudi, oh gosh, I don't know how to spell her last name. ELK something.
Okay.
She gives the permits for events.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Jean, did you have a question?
Yeah, can you post all of the information about these folks online so we can, if I can't read my notes?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So once again, this will all be published on our website, mossbay.org, or our Facebook page. With the agenda, I'll have all the links from all the businesses that we've heard from today, as well as potentially a presentation from Aaron as well.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, we just. Okay, with that, I think we can end the meeting early today. Just of note, our next happy hour is going to be on the 8th of April. Our next meeting will be the 13th of May at the same time, and potentially the same channel. We are going to try to explore some in-person meetings sometime this year, so we might do that around the summer potentially. Okay, great. Well, thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for all the presenters. Thanks for all the businesses to present to us. Once again, this is going to be recorded, and we definitely do get at least 2 or 3 times the number of people watching the videos than show up sometimes. So thank you all.
Alex,
Thank you.
Alex,
yes.
how do I get Santos's name off this and put Sue on there?
I think under profile somewhere.
The guy that answered.
Well, where'd she go? Sue, if you move the cursor over your picture, you should see 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Oh.
Click on the 3 dots. Does it ask you to, do you have the option to rename yourself?
Yep.
There you go.
Who's helping me?
Do you see Moss Bay Park? Or do you see, yeah, do you see the park?
Yeah. That's you,
It's me.
Diane?
Oh.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Diane.
You're
I know,
welcome.
I didn't do it. Just a second, I didn't do it. I thought I was doing it. I'll
you have to
figure it
type it
out.
in.
Check me out next time. Thank you.
Okay. 3 dots, change it to whatever you want. But you have to type it in. Or I'll do the same on my end. It usually rename is often down at the bottom, so.
Look at that. Yay,
Now you're Sue.
done.
Okay.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you,
Alex,
Diane.
that was a wonderful meeting. Thank you for that hard work, reaching
Thanks,
out to
everyone.
people.
Yes.
And we
Thanks,
can do
everyone.
more of that. It was great. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you. Thank you.